got into sprint cars because I raced go-karts and quarter midgets, and I just know the difference of the geometry of being in it and when you race it like on a normal cockpit, like it don't feel the same,
Hmm.
and it kind of ruins.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that. Where did you do the quarter midget racing at?
Now
Uh,
recording.
I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, so they had Bearfield. We got a track. Um, we had a little 3/8 mile. We'd whip around. Then Montpelier is a town south of us, and that's a 3/8 dirt oval. We'd run
Mhm.
around. Then we got the Coliseum and Tony Stewart. That's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Well, mainly Tony Stewart would put that on. They would melt our hockey rink and put molasses down. And I
Mhm.
raced go karts and the quarter midget there, and that was insane.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right, we're up. So if y'all ready, we'll jump into it.
Ready.
Yep.
3, 2. Welcome to the iRacers Lounge. I'm your host, Mike Ellis. iRacers Lounge is the podcast for the iRacer, where we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting. Joining me are the usual characters, Brad Wren.
Well, I did it. I pulled the trigger.
We're spending Brad's money today. Yay! John Curley.
Hey, rest in peace, Ace Frehley.
Ooh. And recent NIS winner, Justin Pearson.
Hey, what's up, guys? Brad don't like my stash.
Is that what you call a porn stash?
Ron Jeremy, baby.
William Westbrook.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, and then welcome to our special guest, Brett Newport.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Welcome. On today's show, we do sit down with Brett Newport from Maverick Simulations. Find out what's fixed in the 2025 Season 4 Patch 3. Is there something wrong with the trees? NASCAR 25 is out with an AI spotter. It's Q4 and we have hardware galore with being announced. And can you feel the wind?
That's right, Mike. And remember that you can follow along with us on your PC or your mobile device in real time as we listen to the show and listen and hear all the great topics and products we'll discuss by visiting iRacersLounge.com. Select the show notes. We hope to see you there. All right, so as Mike said, we've got Brett Newport on the show tonight. Brett is from Maverick Simulations. We ran into Brett at the Sim Gaming Expo. And gosh, Brett, I think we probably chatted for what, 15, 20, 30 minutes? We stood and talked for quite a while.
Yeah, it's probably about that long.
So I wanted to get Brett on here because I think he's got a really cool product, and I think he's doing something that's filling I think a sector in the sim world that I don't think I have never seen anybody tackle what he's doing. So we'll get into all of that in a few minutes. But Brett, we typically, just kind of chit chat a little bit. We're iRacers. We talk about hardware. We all like to share what we do, what we have. So just a couple of background questions. How did you get into sim racing?
Always had a fascination with video games. My journey with the racing games started back in 2001 with the World of Outlaws Sprint Cars on PlayStation 2. I wore a couple controllers out. I did it so much, and then I always wanted to. When iRacing came around, I always wanted to put together something like a little bit more unique, something that was personalized, and then something that was pretty cool. And then always had fascination with sprint cars. So I basically just let both those worlds collide, and then we got what we have behind me.
So when you got into iRacing, was dirt and stuff already on there, or were you on the service before that?
It was already on there. The Dirt program is what drove me to iRacing. With them being able to take a lot of the fun physics that were in some of the older Rat Bag games, and then roll them into an ultimate simulation that was very immersive. I mean, it was something that I wanted to do for a long time, and so happy I made that leap.
So when you got into it, what kind of hardware were you using originally?
I started out with Thrustmaster T300 GT and a coffee table that was destined for the dumpster. And I just strapped them together, and I spent more time screwing the thing together than I did actually making good solid laps.
Gotcha, gotcha. Do you do much official racing now on iRacing?
No, no, not as much as I would want to. Most of my extra time that I have, I'm either like developing new products, building stuff, or anything along those lines. But yeah, not as much time on the official servers.
When you do get a chance to jump on, what do you typically race?
Anything with a wing. So, of course, 410, the 360, 305, they're all good. But I'm a racer at heart, so I like pretty much any type of racing. Anything from the NASCAR stuff, the trucks are a blast on that game, especially if you have motion on your rig.
Excellent, excellent. So where's Maverick Simulations located?
We're located in Western Pennsylvania, and for your dirt track fans out there, we're about 2 miles south of Lernerville Speedway.
Excellent, excellent. So, um, all right. So how did you begin, and what was the motivation behind creating Maverick Simulations?
I had a chance to get a sprint car, of course, wreck chassis and everything. And I was like, well, I wanted to kind of retire my coffee table, so I'm like, well, the next best thing is a sprint car chassis, right? So I wanted to make it realistic as possible. Usually, about everything I do, I try to go over the top with it unintentionally. And I figured out how to do my own pedal system with hydraulic brakes. I figured out how to do like a wing slider, make some modifications, and from there I just bolted it onto this old junk chassis that I had and posted a couple pictures online. And then a couple people was like, well, where'd you get that? How much is it? And I had no intentions of selling anything. I had no intentions of, people asking, hey, what do you have going on? And from there, I made a couple pieces for people here and there, and then I just kind of accidentally fell into my own business.
So when we talked at the expo, you explained that you basically take old wrecked chassis, and that's what you use in order to build the rigs, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yep.
So we've got some pictures on here. We'll scroll through those here in a few minutes. So I would assume most of your, I guess probably all of your target demographic is going to be sprint car guys.
Yeah, pretty much. With our chassis that we build two different models. One is our hardcore chassis, which is just the sprint car cockpit, and then the other one's our hybrid model, which it has additional front end like the car behind me. So where the engine would be in real life, there's actually the another pedal set up there that's like a stock car pedal set. So if you want to, let's say, do road course racing, NASCAR, the trophy truck, anything like that, or even other games too, you just extend your feet out and then you go hit, reach the other pedals, and then it makes your sprint car simulator more than just a sprint car simulator. It makes it a really nice universal type of rig also.
I'm not a dirt guy, but tell me why I need a different set of pedals for the sprint car? Like, how different are they?
Yeah, so picture sitting in your chair at your dining room table, and your butt is all the way against the back of the chair, and you're sitting in a straight up and down position. And your pedals, instead of like you pivoting off your heel, your pedals actually go up and down. And it's so odd and so unique the first time you use it, but make a couple laps and then you're completely familiarized with it. And a sprint car brake pedal is one of the most uncomfortable things in the world to be pressing constantly. So if you're trying to do a road course track with the sprint car pedals, your leg will be cramped up in a first lap in. So that's
So
where having that additional pedal box forward is a huge benefit.
so Mike, if you look at the pictures I got on here, the fifth picture down, you can see where the like right at the edge of the seat. Am I got that right, Brett? Is where your pedals are because you're sitting basically with like almost like you're sitting in a chair, right?
Yep. Yeah, yeah, and in a real sprint car cockpit, they are about the least spacious racing cockpits out there. You're sitting straight up and down, and your kneecaps are actually right up against the steering box, and right on the other side of your toes, your shins, your kneecaps, is a 950 horsepower engine. So like you're right up against the backside of the engine with the big old drive shaft right between your legs.
So I know one of the things we talked about, even from like the mounting of the steering box, the steering base, you've got it to where the steering wheel is almost it would be like it being a sprint car. It's not going to be upright like we would be on an oval side. It's almost flat, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people like to compare it to the old school buses or semi truck type of steering wheels where you have that kind of layout. The plates that we make to mount the steering bases to our cars are adjustable, just like they would be in real life. So you can adjust the degrees of the angle. And also, we built in a telescopic feature too, so you can bring the steering wheel closer to you or further away, whatever's most comfortable for you, just like you would in real life.
That was my question with converting it from being a hybrid from a stock car to a sprint car, because that steering wheel, the angle of that changes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're like, that's just kind of just the nature of the beast. Whenever you want to do a NASCAR type of race or anything like that, the pedal, or I'm sorry, the steering wheel is going to be in the same position. So just kind of part of the absorption you have to do with it.
So do you have your customer base? Is this mainly guys that are just looking because like us, I'm not a real race car driver. I do this. This is all make believe for me. Do you have a mix of both real guys and just online guys, or what's your mix?
Yeah, we have a mixture of everyone. Everyone from, hey, I really like sprint cars, I'm an avid fan, to we have some race teams also using our products. Let's say they're buying our kits and parts and pieces where they're taking their wrecked race car chassis, converting them over to sim cars. And it works out really, really well because with iRacing doing a great job that they do with laser scanning all the tracks and everything being true to life there, and then combining it with our hyper realistic parts where we use the real racing parts bolted to the real location. It's a great combination for anyone that's doing real racing to train themselves on muscle memory, be familiarized with the tracks, and also be familiarized with the racing controls.
So one thing we talked about at the show was you said there's, and again, I'm going to plead ignorance here, but I guess the lever to adjust the wing, you've got that into the rig as it's just same place it would be in real life, but again, you've taken the actual, I guess, the lever that you would have in a real sprint car, you've adapted that to work, with the electronics to where if I'm doing that in the rig, that's going to hit a moving, making the wing adjustment in the sim, right?
Yep, yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, that we teamed up with DMI, Diversified Machine from Pennsylvania, and that's one of the first real products, besides our Willwood brake system that we have in there. That's one of our first real products that we had of a real racing part converted over for the sim environment. So, but yeah, you're 100% correct. It's the real valve. We buy the valves directly off of DMI. We add our electronics to it, do some CNC machine work to it, and then from there you can move the wing back and forward in the game as you can in real life.
I like it. I want a, DMI wing slider valve without clamp and mount it to my rig. Like, look on my rig, I want a eight shifter. I want a sequential. I want a handbrake. I want all the different levers, right? But this is the lever I don't have. In fact, I've never seen a lever like this that's specific for a wing dirt car for sale to sim racers until I've seen, obviously your product.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of like what our specialty is taking all those real racing parts and offering exactly what you're looking for to have that more unique piece. Does a keyboard do it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we're all here for a specific reason. We're here at one of the most realistic simulations in the world, and we want to push that immersion to the ultimate edges as we can. And that's where I feel like our products help accomplish that goal.
Is there anybody else in this space doing this, Brett, that you know of?
Uh, Not to this extent. There's a couple people, offering some pieces here and there. But with us having every single realistic control available for a sprint car, some of them we have like four products already complete. We have three more in a prototype phase that are getting ready for completion. I feel like we're the leaders in what we do with having that sprint car controls, for iRacing. And also for other sim games too. So,
So
but
when you set up a rig, is it single screen? Is this triple screen? What are the options?
D, all the above. So, so our rigs have the option to do, triples. We can do a single monitor. And at the end of the day, a VR headset in one of our cockpits is completely mind-boggling because again, how we go back into or using all the realistic real racing controls in a real sprint car cockpit, whenever you see that item in VR digitally and your hand reaches out there and you can grab what you can see digitally through the VR headset, it's pretty immersive that way because you look down with your VR headset and the wing sliders right here on your left side. It's really there in real life too.
Brett, what's
Um,
next as far as haptics, motion? Have you thought about that? I always thought dirt and motion, I don't know how well that mixes, and if you do it, it must be hard.
it's a heck of a good time because of at the end of the day, dirt track racing is controlled drift. You're spinning out. I haven't combined it with, a 6 DOF system, but the car we have behind me, this is our showcase piece. This has 3 DOF, and if you kind of see on our nose wing, we're using a D-Box motion system on this one. So all of our cars the kits that we offer for people to build their own cars, have mounting plates where you can mount a Sigma integral system in it, or you can mount a D-Box motion. So our systems are already set up to go either direction with that. And yeah, having motion on a dirt rig, it's so much fun.
So one of the things you talked about as well is the tear offs. Explain the tear off system because I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and we'll just go real quick explanation for maybe a lot of your viewers that don't do dirt racing very often. Is when you're wearing your helmet, you have a face shield that goes over top of your eyes, protect your face. And when you're following other cars in a race, they basically take all the mud and the clay that's on their tires and they roost it all over the car and of course all over your face, your helmet, and also your visor. So in real life, you put these little clear things, they're template made, and they go on top of your shield, and they're called tear-offs. And once it gets so covered that you can't see out of them safely, hopefully you pull off just one at a time, not accidentally the whole stack. We've all done that. But yeah, you peel off one layer at a time. Normally you put anywhere from 7 to 10 on for a race, and it helps clean off your screen. Well, iRacing has the same thing of as you're racing, mud and clay will get thrown up on the screen. So typically, and you would hit a button on your steering wheel or a button on your keyboard, some kind of button box you would hit. But we wanted to again take our products to the next level. So in real life, you actually have to grab up to your helmet and pull the tear off that's mounted to your visor. Well, what we do is we do something very similar, which we have a tear-off switch mounted to kind of where the position would be on your left or right-hand side of your head, whichever way you want to pull your tear-offs, and you have to pull a spring-loaded switch forward that's on a tether, and it mimics pulling a tear-off. And if your viewers can see, this is actually the bracket right here for it, and as you can see, it's kind of right at eye level with where I'm at, and there's a little switch, you pull it forward, and it cleans the screen in iRacing.
I love it. I mean, you can't take two hands off the wheel. You can't take a hand off the wheel because you're just hanging on for dear life. But when you do have to reach up and rip one of those off, you got to grip that wheel with one hand and reach up and do it. And it's kind of neat that you're simulating the whole effort of, we're going to have strong force feedback. We have to lift our hand up off the wheel, up in the air and do a motion. I love it.
That's a great point, Mike. And if you have a button that's mapped on your steering wheel, you can kind of hit that at any time safely. But just like if you're doing a time trial race or racing in a lobby with real people, you literally have to wait until you're on a straightaway or until you're not banging wheels off someone where you can actually let go of the steering wheel for long enough to hurry up and pull that tear off.
All right, so you've created your own pedals. We've got the tear off. We've got the wing switch. What else are you working on?
Okay, so we have every single real control that a real sprint car has, plus a little bit more we have already made or is in prototype phase. So we have a button box that's in our car, and sprint cars only have one switch, just on and off. And but we actually took ours a little further just for the more fun factor, where we have an aircraft ignition covered ignition switch, a push button start, which you literally have to push button it to fire up the engine. We all know sprint cars push start, but any other iRacing car set up that way. Three spring-loaded momentary switches they can use to cycle through accessories. While we were working with DMI for a wing slider, we also work with DMI with their sprint car shifter. And some of your fans may not know also is that sprint cars don't have a transmission. They basically just have a lever with a cable going down the rear end, and you either lock it in gear or you're in neutral, and that's the only way. So you really can't make a shifter out of it, right? So we took the DMI shifter and machined the internals of it and made the handle centrally located. And we put springs in it and also micro switches. And now our sprint car shifter that was only had one use is now a sequential shifter. So we can use that for shifting in reverse or road racing or anything else that shifter is good for. And then we also, in the wingless ranks, with the wingless open wheel sprint cars, you can adjust your shock rebounds. Well, we teamed up with CSI. They make real racing shocks out of the state of Indiana, and we actually put their CSI shock adjusters in our car. So you have one shock adjuster per each shock that's on your car, so one for each corner, and one click on the shock adjuster equals one click in the game, and it's mapped out perfectly. And then we also Willwood, we use their master cylinder for the hydraulic brake system in our car. And then we also have for their pavement cars, whether it be pavement sprint cars or any kind of pavement car, we also combined with their Willwood brake bias adjuster. So same thing, every 90-degree click on the real switch is one click in the game, and they map out perfectly also.
So I'm Rico Abreu. I have plenty of broken chassis laying around. I don't need your chassis, but I want to buy all these parts you're talking about from you and do a do-it-yourself rig. Do you do that? Do you sell all this stuff independently?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's actually what we mainly focus on is the parts and pieces, because like we can't build every single rig out there that everyone requests, and on top of that, it's very time consuming to assemble one of them because everyone is just there's so many options you could throw at it, from powder coating to graphics to your we make all the bodies from sheet metal aluminum, fiberglass arm guards, just like a real car. But yeah, if you have a Rex sprint car chassis and you want to build your own, then we offer pretty much all of our kits. We try to make them all bolt-in parts and pieces. But yeah, we have like a brake and throttle kit, and that's part of our ecosystem. And part of that ecosystem is you get the computer controller with it. And most people would just take a computer controller, throw it in a little black box, a little electronics box, and call it a day. But we took it one step further. We actually have our electronic box wrapped to mimic a MSD ignition box or a mag box. So instead of MSD ignition, it's MSR ignition for Maverick Simulations Racing. So we have that available, and then same thing with if you want to add our steering system to one of your cars too, is we all of our stuff's built around SimMagic products. So we make CNC machine plates, and pretty much you just take our CNC machine plates, bolt it on a SimMagic box, and if your sprint car has a half box mounting system, it pretty much 99% bolts in with no other changes that are needed. And then we also offer, our sprint car steering wheel, which is a real sprint car steering wheel. We have modified for the sim racing environment. That can be used not just for sprint cars, but pretty much any rig out there with a 6 on 70 millimeter bolt pattern. So we offer all those parts and pieces designed to work together with the whole entire ecosystem.
That's awesome. You sent me some pictures. We put them up in the on the show notes as well. You did an event out at the I guess what was the Sharon Speedway, Ohio, a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we were with the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. So Sharon Speedway, we know them for many, many years. They invited us to bring our rigs out to their venue for the World of Outlaw race. And we have three rigs. We have for our in-house stuff. We have the sprint car one behind me, a general rig, and then we also built a kids go-kart simulator. And we took all three of them out there, and what a great time it was. Beautiful facility, great racing, lots of cars. And then we were, blessed with business. We, from the time that we opened to the time we closed, we had someone lined up to run the sprint car all night long. So it was a great, great, great time.
That's
And that
awesome.
was the first time ever having our products at an actual racetrack. We've done some high-end car shows and some other festivals in our area of Western Pennsylvania, but that was the first time at a track, and it was a wonderful time. It was great to have our product in front of the crowd that completely understands it.
So to our listeners, just look, make sure you go to the show notes. We put up a lot of pictures here that gives you a much better idea of what Brett is doing. Brett, this is absolutely fantastic. Like I told you, I think that you're hitting a niche that nobody else has ever hit. I think. I'm not a dirt guy. I think I probably tried, I don't know, maybe one or two times to ever turn a lap in a dirt car on iRacing, and I was like, "Yep, this is not for me." But dude, I think you're doing some fantastic work. I love the ideas of being able to get the one-to-one immersion. That's what we're all going for. We're all looking to try to make this as real as we can because that's what we do. We like the immersion. Why do we spend thousands of dollars on on a 4-speed shifter that's going to feel just like a real car because we want it to feel like a real car. That's why we do the things we do. So I think for the dirt community, I think you're doing a great job. It was great to meet you, and dude, just keep it up. This is really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, and we're so happy and blessed to be doing what we love to do. And then once we finish out the 3 products that we have left to go from prototype phase to final product, then we'll have everything that you need to put together your own sprint car simulator. But we're not just done there. We actually have 3 dirt late model chassis, which Justin would like this. We have 3 dirt late model chassis on the property right now, 2 cockpits and 1 complete car, ready for our magic touch that we can give them, and basically take the same electronics that we built and just have everything specific for the dirt late model community. And no different than a lot of people requesting E-mods and big block and small block modifieds. So we'll just continue on.
Boy, his eyes perked up there real quick.
You need to get on Kenny Wallace channel and get over there with Kenny Wallace. He'll hook you up with some of those dirt folk.
Yeah,
Oh,
let
heck
me
yeah.
know if you're closer to Indiana anytime. I know we got Sprint Car Week. If you followed those boys around, that'd be a huge hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be happy to chat it up with Kenny, with having coffee with Kenny on the morning, and I think I have a Sunoco mug here I can drink my coffee out of also. And then yeah, and then same thing with having everything for Indiana. That'd be great too. And then you were saying about Justin that you do the quarter midgets. We have a couple inquiries for taking quarter midget chassis. And then making basically our same products that we do with our own electronics, and then having quarter midget conversions also, because those kids start out at age 5, and what better, cooler thing to have in your basement or your bedroom than a complete quarter midget that you can do racing with.
Yeah, very very cool. So Brett, we talked, about Sim Gaming Expo and how much we enjoyed it. I know you said you enjoyed it too. I think that our intents could be to be back there next year, and I sounded like talking with you that you plan to be there as well. So look, listeners, MaverickSolutions.com. Check out his stuff. It is super cool. Brett, I can't thank you enough for spending a few minutes with us tonight. You're welcome to hang out for the rest of the show, whatever you want to do. So, guys, any more questions for Brett?
Well, thanks for coming, though. We appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys also. Appreciate it also. And then yeah, pretty much you can hit all of our channels that we have. We have a YouTube channel that gives instructions on how to build your own sprint car simulator, some prototypes also. Some of our product information is on there, of course, Instagram, Facebook, mavericksimulations.com. We're findable, so just type it in, you'll find us. So
All right, I'll throw all that up on the script later tonight as well, so listeners you'll be able to find all of this, all his socials and everything else on there. So, Brett, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
all right, thanks guys, appreciate it. And then what we always say here at Maverick Simulations is break away, be a Maverick.
Mm.
Awesome. Thanks, bud.
All right, thank you guys.
There you go. Title idea: Be a Maverick. Hey, William, why don't you kick us off on our first story? The iRacing arcade tracks. Are we going to get those in iRacing?
Yeah, Nibon put up a video saying that he's really excited to see a track he's been really wanting in iRacing on iRacing Arcade, and that is Bahrain. I don't know just because it's in iRacing Arcade that necessarily means it's coming to iRacing. I'm pretty sure there's going to be different licenses. Obviously, the iRacing Arcade tracks aren't scans. But as
What?
far as
Whoa, 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 whoa! It's iRacing. I thought everything was scanned.
Yeah, hey, no. But obviously it's a possibility Bahrain comes. I think it's actually probably a pretty good possibility. They've said they're scanning a Middle Eastern track. Um, and it's one of two, even though iRacing's not partnered with WEC, it's one of two WEC courses that we don't currently have. So I think it's a pretty good possibility. LMU has them both, so I think iRacing would want to get on that so they don't possibly lose some GT3 drivers to that side.
I was wondering if there was an exclusive, like does F1 game has an exclusive on it, but you say it's in the other games, right?
Yeah, it's in LMU. It's not exclusive to F1.
Paul
Yeah.
Ricard was on there too. Was that the other one that we don't have?
Qatar
Oh,
is
Qatar.
the other WEC. Yep. But yep.
All right. Well, I'd like to have them. You're right. They're probably different licenses. It's probably cheaper for iRacing Arcade than it would be for a full-blown iRacing situation. I would think they're two different prices, two different deals. Okay, this one got you laughing, Brad. Feel the wind.
That's right. So we got it's a YouTube short put up by Driven Dynamics, and when we stumbled across this, we're like, oh, look, it's David,
It's David
and
Hall.
it's David Hall. So, yeah, they're saying the power of the wind machine, and this is Dave running the Driven Dynamics chassis with I think this is the Ford GT3 wheel, but yeah, with the wind sim, you can see his beard has got quite a bit of fluff there.
Yeah,
I,
but he added a note to the script that says he didn't even notice the wind because the belt tensioner was the highlight of the rig. And
See, and another reason why we don't need wind sims.
well, look, if he didn't have the long, white, wispy beard, that's floating up, you wouldn't even know there was wind. I mean, so that's, it's the perfect. You know how you put the little piece of paper and you tape it to the fan so you can see if the fan is on.
Look, this is a funny video. I said I think I had it like on repeat, and I watched it for like 2 or 3 minutes just because it was so good.
he's focused, man.
He's focused. I imagine that Greg probably got a little excited about the wind sim though.
Oh, and he missed it. Hey, John, how about is it going to be more exciting with AI commentary?
Yeah, we've got a little video here from Third Wheel exclusive on Instagram. It shows, the question he asked, would sim racing content be more exciting with AI commentary? And so you can watch his video with, with basically it sounds like you've got a race announcer talking to you while you're doing the race. I think it's pretty cool. And I think there's a story we're going to do later on where there's a little bit of grumbling about the AI spotters and commentary, but I thought it was all right. Maybe a little bit too much chatter during a race, though.
Well, I don't think he intends to, maybe listen to it while he's racing. But this guy is actually, he says he's thinking about trying to code live AI commentary for a point of view sim racing. I guess that he is, but he's like going to actually try to code it and write some kind of app that does it. And so when you listen to the audio overlay, it's like you said, a couple of announcers like they're announcing a TV broadcast.
Well, I wonder, it's kind of making sense now. I watch a guy called Campbell Racing on YouTube, and when he does his races, the same voice is announcing his races. And I thought it was just a really good league with an announcer, and he's playing in the background. So he must be using AI.
It's interesting. And I'm guessing he just overlaid something onto this because the first thing I noticed was the announcer's like, he's on the inside when the car was passing him on the outside.
But So I was thinking, okay, how can we use this? Okay, if in a league, I run a league. We need broadcasting. Every league needs broadcasting. Nobody wants to pay for broadcasting. Oh, I can get this app and have AI voices. I can just set up a stream and put it on camera 3 and put AI voices on it and stream it to YouTube and call it a broadcast.
Yeah, eventually. I think we're a couple of years away from that, but eventually I see that entirely possible.
I don't know. You see some of these videos now, and it's really hard to tell. If there wasn't a watermark on the video, you'd hardly could tell that they weren't AI made.
Right. I think it's coming soon. Yeah, this is the kind of apps or software or development that drives these kind of things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. Okay, Justin, iRacing Arcade at the Petit Le Mans.
Yeah, it looks like we got an article, and the headline says, "Get your first taste of iRacing Arcade October 13th with our free demo on Steam." So this is actually news to me.
So
And
this
they're going to
past
be
week,
at the racetrack too, and you can
yeah,
demo it there. Yeah.
yeah. So on the Max Estestron JD's, I think this is it's a Porsche. They were on the side of it, so you can see with the picture here, iRacing Arcade just right there on the side of it. So collaboration there, to get the word out for Petit Le Mans. I think it was somebody had posted up in the chat, it's like this fuzzy picture with the iRacing Arcade on here. They're like, what are they trying to tell us? And I'm like, they're just sponsoring the car. That's all they're trying to tell us.
Can we get a bigger sticker? I'm just like, God, it's so small you can barely even see it. Like, if you're going to sponsor the car, sponsor it.
I mean, it's one of the bigger stickers on the car.
It really is. I mean, they're not
Well,
really any big stickers.
Need
All
to
the other
have
sponsors
Bobby do the
are
paint.
really tiny.
yeah, I guess I'm spoiled with Bobby, right? I'm looking for
Yeah.
something that splashes over the whole wing and everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is JTC Motorsports part time. I think they just ran the endurance races this year. So, but no, still cool to see. I mean, again, I like to see anytime I see iRacing involved with a real team, I'm happy.
All right. And then the next one is just some gameplay we got on TikTok of the new, I guess we would call it the cartoon version of iRacing or iRacing Arcade. There is a free demo available for everyone to try through Steam. And so check it out if you're interested. I don't think this is up my alley, but I'm sure others will try it.
Well, Greg is going to be our resident iRacing arcade expert, so as he's very familiar, I guess, with this whatever the studio was. I don't remember what it was, Superstars, Kart Superstars, or something. This is who they merged with.
Okay, and then I'll take the next one. So this one is the a forum post in the forums this week, and they bring up some documentation from the new NASCAR 25 game that's just been recently released. And what it says is the developers describe how their game uses AI generated content like this. We used AI to generate spotter phrases based upon the voices of real life NASCAR spotters. With their approval, we also used AI to generate crew member photos. And so the thinking behind that is, TJ Majors goes in, he records a bunch of stuff, and then they just use AI to take that voice sample and just say whatever they want it to say.
Oh, that's fine as long as they got permission. I mean, that's the whole purpose there. I don't know that I think the overarching thing here is the amount of stuff that AI can do, and is you're going to have companies that can use AI to generate stuff where in years past they would pay voice actors and stuff like that. I mean, again, I think we're hitting a very somewhat of a slippery slope with the whole AI thing because of how easy it is to replace people doing stuff. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point, but again, it's a double-edged sword.
So we got AI taking over all the broadcasting jobs, and now we have AI taking over the iRacing spotter jobs. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, this clip, I'm pretty sure is from Steam. They require all games to give a little blurb about how AI is used in their games. Yeah, I'm generally I don't like to see AI replacing real artists or development, but like you said, it's with the spotter's permission. I mean, they obviously know what's happening, and I don't know. I don't like, the forum post. He goes, it cheapens the whole experience, and you lost the sale. Well, okay.
Look, TJ Majors got paid. I guarantee you, he got a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to buy NASCAR 25. Would I know the difference of what something TJ said versus what the AI said? No, I probably wouldn't. At the end of the day, it's not going to not doesn't bother me, but and I'm like what William said, it's just the whole premise of AI. Again, I just think it opens up a slippery slope where again, it's the whole replacing people just easily for stuff, and it just I don't know, it's odd.
And to finish off the thought on NASCAR 25, they've had some force feedback issues with certain wheels and a few different hiccups, but their rollout seemed to be good. Anybody here try it or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. William, the follow up from the last show.
Oh yeah. So Forbes article, we talked about Toyota and Mazda joining forces to develop a new. I don't know if they're going to call it the MX-5 or the GR86 or whatever, but it gives a little background into why that happened. I don't remember if it was in the iRacers Lounge Discord or Grassroots or one of the other way too many I'm in, but there was quite a discussion about, this is not the first time car manufacturers have teamed up. It helps, um, getting on a similar platform. It reduces development costs and actually makes it for a little bit better product in the end. Typically, not always, but typically.
Yeah, looking at the article, it says I guess this started all the way back in 2015. Toyota and Mazda had actually signed a memorandum of understanding on a partnership to help develop, do some cross shareholding and whatnot. I guess I'm gonna say, car makers must collaborate to survive. Um, yeah, when it comes to just continual engineering, design, and all that, if you can share resources, I think it for some point makes sense. But I mean, look, I think you see it anyway. I mean, whether it's if it's two different manufacturers collaborating, or you see what's almost copying continually. Somebody has something good, and then it's like, well, that really kind of almost looks like. I mean, I remember back when Toyota redid their the Tundra. It was like, wow, that looks remarkably like the Dodge Ram. The nose and everything. So I think it's something you're going to continue to see.
Okay, Brad, we got a multi-story, multi-link story here. Unravel this for us. It says, I'll leave this here.
Yeah, a little pun there for you. So yeah, I got three articles here, three forum posts about the trees in iRacing. So the first one was changed my mind about trees. The trees in the iRacing arcade look better than in the sim. Um, that okay, again, it's an arcade
A little
game.
jab.
That's a little jab, so we'll let that one go. But there is some long-standing issues with the 3D trees. Got a forum post here from this is from Carl Williamson, talking about the LOD switching issues, and he's got a video here, and you can see it. It pops in and out. I personally have not experienced this. I don't know if certain settings people maybe have with the way that the levels of detail are set. I have mine, I think, like all set to where they I don't have anything get reduced by LEDs because I don't want any popping or flashing of stuff. Um, and then again, another one here. This was by Crispin Williamson. Strange, same last name.
Wait a
Smurf,
minute, wait a minute. Is that a guy with his second account and making two different posts
probably.
about the same thing to try to drive conversation?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I mean, like the one of the posts here by Martin Lanzas, World, talk about the detail. Just go ahead and boost it up. That's the way I do it. Yeah, look, there's been discussion, I think, in the last developers note that with the new engine that they're developing, trees. We saw some pictures. Trees are look much better. Look, trees are nice and stuff, but I'm not looking at the trees when I'm racing. I'm looking at the track. I mean, get your eyes off the trees and look at the track.
Yeah, when I read this, I thought, now I know why people crash me all the time. They're looking at stupid trees. Who cares about the trees? Is that what you're looking at, people? Come on.
Always something.
I mean, yeah, trees have been rendered like that in a lot of video games, forever. And I've never experienced the issue that the slip in the forum post looks. But I mean, again, it's limited resources, right? What do you want them to focus on? And secondly, hopefully, with the new renderer coming out, it looks a little bit better.
All right, John, we got a virtual lap.
Yeah, we've got IMSA's got a post. Looks like it's on X, actually. You can take a virtual iRacing lap around Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, with the number 85 JDC Miller Motorsports with the support of iRacing Arcade. I mean, it's just a quick hit video. Looks pretty nice. I've never even been on this track, but
What?
good visuals. No, I've never been on it.
How dare you offend William like that?
What?
Same.
Oh my goodness.
Does NASCAR run on this? Did I miss something?
No. The Busch Series used to run at the short track across the street.
That will soon be no
That
more.
will soon be no more. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm going to take the next one. We got release notes. We got a patch out today, and they did put up demo drive for 24 hours due to some kind of issue with it. So that if I don't know if you guys are going to hear that in time for this podcast, but yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Physics, they changed something. They added something called track splines. Well, they have track splines, but they're now aware of their relative altitude, which may factor this parameter into predictive and estimated calculations related to car types for things such as estimated lap times, race controlled gain time, yield behavior, penalty balance, and more. This will improve timing functionality not only at a high altitude track like Mexico, but will also improve a track that has significant altitude variations like Mount Washington. Which is very interesting that they're finally, simulating altitude and its effect on an engine. I remember when I was a kid and I was racing Honda Odysseys around the West Coast on the Mickey Thompson Off-Road National Tour. As we changed altitude, we had to change these little jet things on the carburetor that were air intakes depending on what altitude was. And we had like a box of 20 of them, different sizes. So altitude matters in racing. And so it's kind of neat that they're finally, I guess, modeling that.
Yeah, I was under the impression they already did this. I don't know where I got that in my head from, but yeah,
Well,
that's really cool.
I think they did, but I think they've updated it, I guess. Yeah, this was discussed when they released Mexico. They
Yeah.
they touted that, hey, because of the altitude, you're going to have reduced downforce and blah 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 blah. It's like anything else. I mean, they're going to continue to tweak things.
Anything else jump out at you guys? Just little bug fixes, a lot of user interface stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, they looks like hopefully they got the standings bug that was causing people to crash. That had it happen to me. Trying to look at the standings, or I was looking at the entry list or something before a race, and boom, to desktop I went, which is good.
Yeah, they fixed 8 or 10 bugs that we've talked about over the past few weeks, so it's good to see them get on that. For the road guys, or IMSA specifically, the Porsche got some good news. It's been kind of on the bottom of all the testing sheets and the pro testing recommendations for a while now. They reduced the high-speed drag, so hopefully it'll be turning some a little bit more competitive times.
It'll probably be ultra fast now.
Yeah, they probably went too far.
Looks like we got some more hybrid updates to the 499, the Ferrari P. So interesting. Though I really don't understand how all this works, but system will allow the driver to adjust the amount of front hybrid drive they will see in high-speed corners, giving them the ability to fine-tune high-speed balance. So
Mexico City adjusted distant 3D buildings to only display during replay mode to help with graphics performance. That sounds good because that track kills my computer.
I haven't gotten it yet, and I'm scared to death.
It's rough.
So one of the ones that kind of stood out to me is the update to North Wilkesboro Speedway. It says grammar and spelling on some signs and advertisements has been fixed. How in the world do we get wrong spelling put into the game?
There's not spell check like Control S.
I mean, look, we talk about the quality control, but I mean, really? I mean, how does the artwork create a sign that's spelled wrong?
And aren't there layers to the artwork department? Like you have people that should be reviewing other people's work, or yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, who's next? John, how will iRacing throw it back?
Yeah, we've got an iRacing forum post by Justin Kleber. And his idea is for the winter NIS this year, give the drivers a choice between the Gen 4 or the 87 car. He's thinking, let's take those NIS slots, use open and fixed time slots uh, to run these different cars. But I think one of the responses in here is iRacing's already decided it's going to be the 87 car, so I assume that's what we're going to have.
It's always the 87s, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always been the 87s. Justin, you've won the championship on the winter NASCAR iRacing series before. What do you think? Should they switch cars or maybe run both?
Tell me, Burt Reynolds.
Can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I wouldn't mind if they swapped a car. I mean, it's kind of getting for me. I would just like something a little different. It forced people to maybe like the Gen 4 because I think Mikey's been talking about that the field's been low.
That's what I'm saying is I would like to switch it just because the Gen 4 is new. It's a 2025 car we got this year. Let's promote it. Let's push it. Let's put it in the winter NIS. Why do we have to stay on the 87s? I mean, there's no rule that says we have to do that. It's still kind of a legendary car.
I think people should give it more of a shot because it's like a street stock on steroids. It's really hard to spin out yourself. I mean, you got to try to wreck it.
It's a good idea. I don't think iRacing is going to change it though. But that should be a plug for our league that we're trying to get together for the off season. We're going to run, I believe, Wednesdays, and it will be Gen 4.
How's participation been, Mike?
Well, we need more signups. We need more people to sign up for the league, and we're a little low. And it hasn't started yet, but we're here mid-October. Now's the time to put your name in, guys. So this is a listener-driven league. We want to come together as a group and run this in the off season once a week. Come join us. It'll be fun. William, the Apex Racing GT3 Trophy League.
Yep. Apex does a GT3 League quite often. It's in its 11th season. Starts October 30th and races weekly. Ends December 18th. This is Thursday evenings. Unfortunately, though, Apex is European based, I believe, in the UK. So once the time changes in America, that'll be starting qualifying at 2:40 Eastern time. So not sure that's really viable for a lot of excuse me, a lot of people in the US, but it's from what I've seen, I've watched it on their YouTube channel a few times. It's pretty good racing with all the GTs.
Okay, and Brad, MX5 500.
Yep, it's back. So we got the MX5 500 at Martinsville Speedway, October 24th through the 26th. This will be 500 laps, elbows out. So if we remember, they tried this. This was done, I guess, a few years. Who did it? It was one of the streamers. Somebody did it as a charity thing, and then NASCAR got together with IMSA and they decided to go ahead and try this and did it actually for real last year. So
McFarland,
there you
I
go,
think.
McFarland. So we've got 5 time slots. So all the normals plus you get the fifth one on Sunday. From what I remember last year, this was somewhat of a disaster, but I will be skipping it. Martinsville's hard enough in a cup car, let alone probably a lot of people that have never turned left over and over again in their lives. So, but have at it.
Not
It
for
sounds
me.
so fun. It sounds so fun, but it ends up just being 6 hours of caution. So, yeah, probably won't be participating.
Yeah, this Jacob Klein will think it's fun. It's the first comment.
He'll be running it. There you go.
He might be busy.
This week in iRacing, Brett.
We've got the Creventic Endurance Series is at Barcelona. So it's kind of a follow up from the actual real race there last week. Nürburgring Endurance Championship is back on this week. So this is week 8 of 9. So again, this is a weekly thing where they're going for 9 weeks. Same track, multi cars, multi class. And then you got the sprint cars. The 410s, super late models are back in action this week. Looks like the late models are at Eldora. So no specials this week, but all your regular uh, weekly series.
Podcast housekeeping. Leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform to make it easier for more listeners to find the podcast. Please mention the podcast to your fellow drivers so they don't miss out. We would appreciate it. Check out the Discord. Get involved in the discussion. There's a lot of going on over there for sure. And of course, our show notes at iRacersLounge.com. You can hear us over on Performance Motorsports Network and get your merchandise, iRacersLounge.shop. Fantasy, Denny Hamlin. Looking good, boys.
Yeah, he gets win number 60. So he takes the win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think he led 9 laps, was all he led. He won the pole, but had shifting issues, I think, at the start and kind of fell back. But so AJL14 took the win with 264 points. Followed second by Stuart Haas Fanatic. Third was Connor Truman. Fourth, Resdog. Fifth, Cletus 545. So, kind of a ho hum race until we had the pit accident that took out William Byron.
And we've heard today that that spotter has been fired actually from his job.
He was being replaced at the end of the year anyway. But yeah, just it's really an odd thing. I mean, the pit entry to Vegas is odd anyway. You really kind of need a higher arc to get in there. Um, but just I don't know. I mean, it's what it is. They can't hit a button and go, "Hey, pitting this lap like we can." So they hand out the window, swerve down the backstretch, do something, let somebody know you're pitting, and that didn't happen. But big shakeup in the points after that.
That was news to me. I never knew as courtesy they swerved on the backstretch. I heard that multiple times on podcasts. It was intriguing.
You haven't done that when you pitted in iRacing?
No, I just spam the voice chat button and holler.
Well, in years past, your window was much bigger, so it was easy to get a hand out there to show somebody that you were going to pit. But the way the cars are now, once a net and once you've got the aqueduct in there, I mean, it's just this itty bitty hole. There's not a whole lot of room for them to shove a hand out there and anybody to see anymore. Um, so yep. So Denny's locked in for the final 4, and I think we got Byron, Logano, Briscoe, and somebody else is below the cut line. I can't think of who it is.
Did
They're rolling to Talladega this week. It's no telling what could happen. It could probably be anybody's. Almost like to see a non-playoff driver win just to complicate the points even more.
right. Remember, I remember Harvick on a green white checker did what he had to do. Do you remember that to get into the next round?
Well, that's It's what this thing does. Continues to be more chatter about change to the point system next year. I don't think we're going to get the 36 points. I think we're going to get some sort of hybrid something, whether it's, I guess there's a discussion of 32 with 4 final races, or a 4-4-4-6, or 4-4-6 something. I don't know what we're going to get, but obviously we're going to get something different. We just don't know what we're going to get yet. All right,
Yeah.
so I do need to make a clarification here for the overall standings. Last week I did not have the playoff standings posted here. I still had the overall. So since we are in the NASCAR playoffs, did want to get that updated. So Connor Truman does have the lead at 1586. Second is TGI Racing. Third, Canadian. Fourth, Team Terry. Tied for fourth, Team Terry and Res Dog. Six is AJ L14, and there's that road guy. He's in the top 10. What's wrong with that guy?
Look, guys,
Shout out to William.
I grew up around NASCAR. I just prefer to turn right now.
I got you. I just got to give you a hard time.
All right. Hardware, software.
Skip this one.
We're going to skip the first one. Okay. And we'll go on to number 2. All right. Who wants this one? John, I guess you get it. Delta by Bavarian Simtech.
Yeah, Bavarian Simtech, they've just dropped the new Delta wheel. It's kind of a blend between a Formula GT style, 295 millimeter. Some of the highlights on this, they've got what they call a next gen quick shifter. It's got over 100 inputs, which, from a techno whiz standpoint, that's great, but I dare anybody to remember those 100 inputs, how they programmed them. Custom spec encoder, and you can get this with or without a screen on the wheel. And I think, if I'm not mistaken from reading some of the Discord chat, this will be compatible with the SimiCube 3. It'll have that link
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. They're one of their first wheel manufacturers that are going to have that SimiCube link built in, so it can be just natively attached. And so this company, Bavarian Sim Tech, they actually had an Instagram story I threw up in our team chat about an hour ago of their rig at the German Sim Racing Expo. They're setting up for the weekend. They have a really nice booth. They have all their wheels out where you can touch them. They have 3 or 4 rigs set up. They have their software set up on some monitors where you can demo their software as well. Looks like a pretty neat looking wheel.
I like the one without the DDU. The DDU looks like literally it's like double-sided tape, and let's just stick it on the front of it.
It does.
Yeah, it's ugly with the DDU with the screen on it. I don't like it. And yeah, I don't know anybody's gonna actually remember all 100 of those inputs. Yeah, the one without the screen looks alright though. Depending on price though, it might go up against my favorite, the MPX by Grid. Um, if
Oh,
it's
I
the
love
similar
that
kind of.
wheel. That was the one John, you remember I was trying so hard to get you to buy the Grid by SimLab wheel without a screen, and then we found out how much it cost.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought, yeah, that was pretty. It would not. I mean, the problem I have with this Bavarian Simtech, I mean, there's a lot of yellow on that. I mean, I just don't like the coloring on it.
Well, scroll down. There's another video, John, with the black version.
Yeah, I did watch it, and I think that looks a whole lot better.
Yep. Good stuff. I like their wheel. They're definitely a player now, I think, in the high end wheel market. Let's go the other way. Justin, how about the Camus? Now even better.
Yeah, we got I believe it's an Instagram post of Canvas saying your favorite wheel is now even better. And, it's got a list of things: larger metal paddle shifters, updated center knobs for smoother tactile control, green accent stripes, seamless wheel section for better comfort, and just a numerous of upgrades.
not my favorite wheel.
It's not your
This
forever
is
wheel, that's for sure. No.
well, this is the one that puts the direct drive stuff in the wheel, right? That's Camus.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't DJ EJ promote this real heavy in the beginning?
He had one. I guess he did one, and he said it wasn't bad. Again, I mean, if you come from a either a belt driven or a gear driven wheel like a Logitech, and you go to a 5 Newton meter direct drive, it's going to feel fantastic. But yeah, no. Again, if I'm having a sim race out of a hotel and I need to carry something around in a
Yeah.
bag, maybe that's
I
about
mean,
all I'm using it.
it's $269 for a 5 Newton meter wheel. I don't like it. I don't like how they do the direct drive part, putting it in the wheel, but it's at least competitive.
Yeah, but for that 300 price range, I think you got better options.
I mean, it's a direct competitor to Moza, the R5, once you add the pedals. So yeah,
But
I don't know.
I would go Moza over this though.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I'm just saying it's not completely awful.
It's just not the cheapest way to get in. Like I would rather go in the Logitech route, see if I like it, then make my big step instead of this.
Well, I would go Moza. At least in Moza, you've got an option to where even with an R5, if you decide you want an oval rim or if you want a road rim, you can change. You can do something
Yeah, you
different.
can't with the cameras.
Yeah, that you're locked in, and just as you're locked in, as that's what you got. I'll take this next one. So we talked about this last week. This is the Gobi Light Bar Diffuser by Simfire. So I got these in, and I threw a couple pictures up in here. So the first one was a picture I had. I can't find a picture with all four on, but you can. The thing I like about these, you can see the difference, the amount of light that just is going everywhere from here compared to once the diffuser's up there. What a difference it makes when I'm racing. And I told Andy that. I mean, just being able to direct the light directly on me, much better. I'm not getting all the light, just it's going off into the room and everything else. And you can see from the couple pictures. I mean, even the second picture, you can't even see all the glow coming from the lights because all of the light is now coming straight down on me. So, um, big win. I'm super happy with them. So, shout out to Simfire. For 3D printed, super easy. They popped on, took probably 10 minutes to put in a couple adjustments just to get the lights back to where I wanted them. But so if you're doing any ambient lighting, I would strongly suggest putting a diffuser on there. It makes it much nicer.
Do they have them for Philips Hue?
They do.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Oh, I might have to look
Yep.
at this.
Come from the
Okay.
UK, so you pay a little bit to get it across the pond, but that's nice.
All right, William. How about Sim Race Mods?
So, Brad, I guess you put this on here. Is there anything specific you wanted to look at, or are you just highlighting another?
Just another website with
Okay.
all kinds of stuff that you can go down a hole on and get what you want.
Yep. So it's similar to our friends at SimSport Gadget. It's got a lot of 3D printed modifications for your rig between adding haptics to your pedals, mounting stream decks to your 80/20. They even do some shifter upgrades that are printed out for you. They got lots of mods broken out by brand too, so you can, if you have SimMagic pedals, you can go down to SimMagic and see what they got for you. And not just 3D printed, they do some CNC encoder knobs too.
Ooh, I like these carbon fiber pedal plates or pedal faces, I guess you call
Ooh, I like the new knobs for the F core and the cube controls. There's an idea.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yep, didn't need to see this. Thanks.
You did it.
them. Yeah,
But I didn't look.
we found it. Yeah, I mean, look, this is another place to get some pretty cool stuff. You guys need to do some shopping at simracemods.com.
See, this is where you eat up stuff. It's like $15, $20, and you buy two or three of them. The next thing you know, you got $100 some
Uh-huh.
dollars. That's like, ooh, look at all the goodies I got.
I know Greg will like this comment, but they got WinSims, VW.
Never happening.
Okay, and I guess I'll take this on. Why you need the Hypercool? We have Next Level Racing promoting their new cool seat. I think we forget that we have a U.S. option now, with the Eau Rouge being the European option for a cool seat. Next Level Racing would be the U.S. option, obviously. Um, but they call it sharper focus, better results. Staying cool reduces fatigue.
So I want to poke a little bit of fun here. So if you go to the second picture on the Instagram post, last week we talked about ergonomics and how you want to make sure your rig is set up to where you're comfortable. This guy looks completely uncomfortable.
An AI picture, obviously. I like the other picture that kind of visually shows where the fans are inside the seat, and it looks like there's three in a row right down your spine.
Yeah, but like we discussed originally, I mean, I don't think there's anything cooling other than moving air. It's just they're fans. It's not like I don't think there's anything to cool the air. It's not air conditioned.
It is blowing hot air. I'd like to see a seat that had some kind of liquid cooling in it. How about that?
Get you a cool shirt, Mike.
Okay, Brad, you can take the Moza R25. Was ridiculously impressive, says Oscar.
Yep. So we got I think he had a short on this a couple weeks ago. But this is more of a full review. Uh, he's done a really good job with these. I think they're getting better and better. But long, in depth, 12 minutes. Talks about how good it is. I mean, it's 25 newton meters. I think this is the next step that Moza needed to do. This is the step up from the 21, and I think the good thing with this is it gets it back into a more, I guess the design of the base is much better than the R21. The R21 is kind of big and flat and kind of a mess in my opinion. But no, he gave it good reviews. Um, Again, like he said, he's never going to use 25 newton meters. And as we talk, no one is ever going to use 25. But the one thing that you do get with 25 is you got plenty of headroom. So regardless of where you're at, you're never going to have any clipping or anything like that. And the detail that you pick up when you have all of that headroom is really the win.
$36 per newton meter, or $900 for the 25 newton meter. That's a really good price when you
It
compare it
is.
to the CiviCube or the CiviCube Pro 2 or the CiviCube Pro 3, which are 25, or the Asetek Invicta, which I think is 25, right?
Yeah, I mean, cost wise, I mean, Moza continues to kind of hit that. I mean, yes, it's high. This is a very high end product in the Moza line, but it's not a complete. It's not $1,500 like you're gonna pay with SemiCube or 14.99 or whatever it is, 13.99. You're coming in at really what two-thirds the cost.
Yeah, and so I think Oscar at the end of his video, serious value here was, I think, you're getting your newton meter per dollar, satisfied at a really good value. The feel of it feels good. He didn't really have a lot of complaints. All right, Justin, we have the ES Pro Precision Sim Engineering.
Yeah, we got a Instagram post here. Again, another new wheel coming out. It it looks good.
It does. Got a good look to it.
Yeah, we talked about this one last week. I like the way it looks. A huge fan of the four knobs in the middle. Just
Yeah, me
it's a
either.
bit hard to get to, and especially the one in the center. I don't know if that's a
Center, yeah.
funky if that's a funky switch,
It is.
is what it looks like. Too much purple, and it's too small. I think it's 285 millimeters or 280. Yeah,
Yeah,
285. It's just
285.
it's too small. Um, yeah, it's just too small. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm fine at the F core I've got is 290, a little over 290, and even that is taking a little bit of time to get used to.
Yeah, my X29 is 290, and I would not want to go any smaller at all.
Yeah, no, couldn't.
Yeah, I mean similar look to a lot of the GT-ish wheels we've seen. Again, I don't want to harp on it, but if I'm gonna spend this money, I'm going the other way. Except you can't right now because I went to their website to try to compare size, and SimLab is not, or grid portion of SimLab is not accepting orders from the U.S. as they navigate the tariffs.
Really?
Yep. I mean, it's hard to get their wheels anyway. They're perpetually out of stock. But yeah, they got a big banner on their website that says we are currently not accepting orders from the United States as we navigate the tariff situation.
All right. I got this one. The guys over at the Chicane podcast, they put up a video reviewing the Cubic QS BT1 belt tensioning system. We actually have another video later down the script on the same product from Sarah Nochi as well. So we got 2 review videos of this. Um, look, both in both videos, the immersion factor was high. There was a lot of praise over how it made it made it feel. Sarah was, big smile on her face, when she first tried it, and got that first impression. You could tell that, oh, this is cool, And she thought that it did add some immersion to a static rig, even though a lot of people would add these on as a cherry on top if they already have motion. They would add this as, the extra thing. But per Sarah, this would be a great product on a stationary rig too to give you that more immersion.
Yeah, I listened to the Chicane podcast this week, and both of them talked about it. And I guess, been a little leery with a static. This almost seemed, I don't know, just be odd on a static rig. But both of them are static rigs, and they said that just the amount of immersion that it brought got me thinking a little bit. It's expensive. It's about $2,000, so it's not. This is not a cheap add-on. But one of the things they did talk about was, I guess, take some time to get it drilled in, because it can be very tight and actually, cause some bruising and pain if you don't have the settings correct. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to try this at the anything with belts on the Sim Gaming Expo, so I'll definitely check that out when we go next year. But I know you guys talked about how much you enjoyed any of them that had them, but I never got the opportunity.
Yeah, I tried a couple of them at the expo, and I was very pleasantly surprised at the immersion it adds to the game, especially the sim, especially when you're going up or down a hill. I mean, you really feel like you're going downhill or uphill with that tension.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it at the Sim Gaming Expo. I thought it was really neat. Um, Sarah also talked about some of the struggles with the product as far as getting it installed. He had to, provide her own hardware on certain things, like as far as mounting the belts to the rig. She had to provide her own belts. She thought it would be nice if they provided, a turnkey solution, but she had to like get her own products to go with this thing, and so that was kind of her feedback on it.
I know the Chicane podcast said that your experience will be determined by what harness you have too, from the 4, 5, or 6, whatever that is.
Well, the 6-point harness means you have the submarine belt, which is the belt that comes up through the bottom of the seat in front of your crotch.
Yeah, he said the 4-point or the 5-point's not good for us men.
4 doesn't work really well with it, is what
Yeah.
the maker of the thing says, and they agreed. I think Jeff tried the 4 before, and he said it didn't work as well.
Well, Sarah said it pretty well. Why? And the reason is if you don't have the submarine belt pulling the other belts down, the belt tensioner ends up shifting all the belts up against your chest, and they end up traveling up when they shouldn't. And if you have that submarine belt, which comes up through the crotch, that really holds that lap belt down, as well as the ones that come over your shoulder. Um, and really anchors it, so to speak, so it's not rising up into your mouth or up under your chin.
Yeah, so I have not had a chance to try any of these, and I have no interest in motion. So I've been considering one of these in lieu of motion, and both the podcast and Sarah had nothing but glowing reviews for it. It seemed once I got past their beginner hiccups. So it's definitely something I'm considering in the future. But again, limited resources. If I'm gonna put 2 grand into my rig, do I want to do this? Do I want to do my Solpec wheel? Do I want to do the active pedal? Who
Ooh,
knows? It's a
decisions. Let's
decision.
spend
Yeah,
Williams' money.
not anytime soon, but eventually, and it's a decision that I have to make. I guess it'll probably be between this and the pedal, but who knows?
Well, look, I think this is a better idea than the seat that kind of go, left, right, or that has the motor under the seat and it kind of pivots around that we saw like a week or two ago. Yeah. Okay, Brad, SimCore and SimiCube 3.
Yeah, I got an Instagram post here. Got a new wheel. I guess it's not necessarily a wheel, but it's a center button box by Simcore. This one's got a DDU. Can't find it. It's not on their websites yet. So my guess is this is coming. Whether it's going to be, I don't know why it would. I can't imagine it being released with the SimiCube 3 because since they're showing the I don't know, the lovely dashboard, unless that's going to be incorporated into the whole light bridge and all that. But yeah, it's I like Simcore. Um, I've got their pedal plates for my Huskenfelds, but this button box is super nice. But oh my gosh, is it expensive once you start doing things? And they're coming from Australia, so you're going to pay quite a bit. The one that's on the website, which is very similar to this, just doesn't have the DDU. And once I put the clutch set and some paddles before I've done a rim or anything, and I'm up to $1,000 already.
Ooh. No, I think SimCore was one of the companies, Brad, that indicated that they were involved in the SimiCube Pro 3 link
They are, yeah,
system. Yeah.
they are.
I was thinking, man, you could put a MPI wheel on this, like a nice NASCAR oval rim, maybe. Could you?
Not a deep dish. Because you need to mount the button box in front of the deep dish. And I don't know if you could be able to do that or not. But there's
Anyway,
better options. Um, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know how much this one is. But the one that's currently available, like I said, as soon as I just added paddles and a clutch, I was up to $1,000.
Yeah, I think price wise, I think the Simagic, what is it, Neo X is probably
Yeah,
a better buy.
absolutely, $300.
okay, John, how about the cheapest hydraulics?
Yeah, we've got a couple of reviews here on the Conspit CPP Apex, $350 for a 2 pedal hydraulic set. I didn't get to watch the videos all the way through, but I mean, price wise, that's entry level pricing for hydraulics if you're in the market for that type of pedal set. What I got out of these videos, I mean, this is not, you're not going to get high end performance on these, but as we've always talked about, you got to buy within your budget, and this may fit the budget for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Random Call Sign said that the brake was good, but the base plate is plastic. Um, there's not a whole lot of adjustability in the throttle. I think you could adjust the travel a little bit by just rotating um, the the shock. I guess there's no spring adjustments or anything like that. He said the pedal was good. I mean, the hydraulic pedal was good, but it's just it's very entry level. Yeah, I would if you could do hydraulics, just wait, save your money, do them the right way. I wouldn't. I just don't think you spend $300 just to get hydraulics. I don't think you're going to be ultimately happy.
But if you're buying $300 pedals, if you're buying, so let me ask you this. So what if you're buying the Sim Jacks off Amazon or the
I'd go.
Simpsons,
I'd go. I'd buy Simpsons.
you'd buy Simpsons over these?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
They're about the
something. I
same
mean, well,
price.
well, I mean, but again, it depends on, do I have a rig? Am I on the floor? What am I on? I can't, if I'm on carpet, I can't do Simpsons. I need something to mount the Simpsons to. This, you could, I guess in theory, that there is grippers on the bottom to where you could put these on carpet. Now, how well they would stay put, I don't know. I mean, even back in the Logitech G25 days, I had to put a piece of wood, behind the pedals, and then up against the wall so that I didn't damage the wall because they wouldn't stay put. Um, again, I think it depends on, are you a desk racer? Or do you have a rig? If you've got a rig or something, you want something that you can hard mount to your rig. And this would not be the option.
Okay, Justin, we have a PXN release hashtag soon. Quick hit.
Yeah, again, another wheel. They got an Instagram post. PXN is unveiling a new wheels, new rim soon, between October 17th and 19th in Germany. So I assume that's the expo, right?
Yeah, that's the expo happening. But yeah, they show a picture here or a rendering is what it kind of looks like. Uh, yeah, your normal kind of formula. All these wheels are starting to look the same, but yeah, PXN is in the game with some medium to lower priced product. William, let's jump to a better product, the P1 Beau Rivage.
I mean, better. I don't like the look. So this is not for me. P1 though is debuting for pre-order their Beau Rivage. It's a GT wheel. It's a little odd shaped, kind of like not oval, but elliptical, I guess you would say.
It's like
Um,
it's more like a
yeah,
rectangle.
I don't know. I just don't like it. It ergonomically, I don't. I guess it's about the same, but it just looks weird to me. It will work with the SimiCube 3 link system though, so that's one of the launching ones that'll work with it. Have they? It's for pre-order. Have they given a price yet?
$1,383.
No, thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no,
A
no.
hard pass.
Yeah, I don't like the button placement. I don't like the shape of it.
It's at least the right size. It's 295 millimeter.
You got one thing right, right? No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the only thing it's going for.
Okay, so John, let's talk. Let's really change it. I think this one is $2,500.
Yeah, this is the SimLab, uh, Mercedes wheel. I mean, this is pretty much a replica, I guess, or real world kind of
Yes,
wheel.
it is.
It's the real deal. Even on price tag, it's the real deal. You know, it looks great. It's getting fantastic reviews, but again, do you spend this kind of money on a wheel? I mean, who's going to be able to do that?
If you're a
I mean,
Mercedes fan, then you do. I mean, look, I held this. I spent 30 minutes standing there talking to Richard from SimLabs about this wheel. It feels fantastic. Is it something I would buy? Absolutely not. But it feels absolutely wonderful.
yeah, I've heard several reviewers, and I didn't get to watch Dan's video the complete way through, but I've seen several reviewers say this is absolutely the best sim wheel they've put their hands on. So, I mean, it's expensive, but the quality is obviously there.
Yeah, to get Mercedes, stamp of approval. I mean, they went through a very extensive process. I mean, I think Richard said the carbon fiber piece for the clutch is like $500. Yeah, yeah, that's I mean that's how much it costs just for them to make that one piece. It's crazy.
So Dan Suzuki, who reviewed the video, he also indicated that he's starting a new scoring system for these wheel reviews. And I think this was his first one he's given a score to, and I believe the score came in as 89 out of 100.
Well,
So,
for that kind of money, it better be a 101 out of 100.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what scores he gives other wheels in comparison. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
He's always very thorough. When it comes to review stuff, I definitely trust him.
Great looking wheel. I spent a lot of time too with this wheel in my hands, probably 15 minutes, I would say overall. I just kind of was holding it, rolling it around my hands,
It is
pushing the
so
buttons.
so light. It is crazy how light that thing is.
All right, Brad, we got more SimiCube 3 information.
Yeah, we got a video here from Dan Suzuki. So he's got the bases, but um, as a lot of the reviewers have bases, but they can't use it yet because SimiCube hasn't released firmware, or rather, the updated um, tuner software, or whatever they're going to call it. I can't remember what they're going to call it. So he just kind of goes through, gives you an overview of them, talks a little bit about it. It's not bad. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. And then we do have a video from James Baldwin. Now, James was part of the development on this, so he does give quite a bit of feedback. So it's good. Um, it's I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I
So,
don't know if
so,
it's going
so
to
wait,
be.
what did Dan Suzuki say? What was wrong with it? Oh, the USB pass through.
Well, that's what everybody's been saying. So if you've been on SemiCube's Discord, it's it's been quite a heated exchange during different times of the day.
So, what is the business idea behind it? Like, people want to know why. Like, because it's such
Ecosystem.
a thing these days.
Ecosystem. I think SemiCube is trying to create an ecosystem. Hence, they've got the wheel. A lot of the wheel manufacturers have agreed to go into this ecosystem with them. This is with the light bridge, and now there's no USB. Everything is going to be run through the light bridge, through the link. You've got some of, like, Lovely Dashboard, I guess, is partnering. So, like Asher's going to do wheels. Well, it's going to have the chip or whatever that SimiCube's got. It's going to be in the wheel. So there's going to be integration between whatever Asher stuff is and the SimiCube tuner, whatever they're going to call it. I can't remember now. Everything's going to be together. So you had the benefit of what Asher had will be tied in with SimiCubes. But yeah, so no USB pass through. So if you run SimHub because you like certain dashes or whatnot, none of that's available because there's no USB pass through. If you want to run those, you could still run it on the SimiCube 3. You're just still going to have it be corded and then run into a USB for SimHub.
I also got the impression from looking at all the Discord chat, and I see this as a big limitation with this SemiCube 3. Right now, they've kind of written off the oval wheel crowd. I mean, and they've as much as said that. I think there was a comment from one of the SemiCube reps that said, well, oval wheels aren't that popular right now, so maybe someday if they become popular again, we'll worry about those. So I think that's a big shortcoming for this base.
As far as them providing a wheel, an actual oval wheel like they do with their road wheel. I don't know. I'm not a fan of their formula wheel that they put up and the high price of it for the way it looks. I don't think they're going to sell a lot of those, but the bases, I think they're going to sell like hotcakes. The Pro is going to be 1400 for 25 Newton meters, and there's no reason to think that won't be the new gold standard.
I don't envy this SemiCube 3 now. I'm happy with my 2.
Yeah, I'm not upgrading. And I'm
Uh,
hopeful that we're going to get some, and they have said as much, that we're going to get some of these improvements in the Pro 2 through the tuner software.
Yeah, that's what they said. I was reading through Discord, and that they're going to try to make some of it backwards compatible. Once they get stuff straight with the SimiCube 3 software, they can bring some of that stuff back into Tuner, to where can get some of those benefits, which is good. I think the 2 is still a very viable option. Hence why, as I said, I joined the club, but I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't worried. I would not have done that if I was worried that there would be nothing to support that.
I noticed, Mikey, that they extended where you put the rim on. Because I was telling BW the first thing he's going to buy is the steering wheel extension. Because that thing's a knuckle buster, getting that pin in and out.
Yep. You got to almost have an extension. Yep.
Get the SimCore.
I know there's already one down at Micro Center. If I have to make the drive, I'll go make it.
Tony Kanon will sign your shaft.
Oh, easy now.
Yeah. Just lay it on the table. He'll sign it.
All right. I got this one. Ace Attacks entry level wheelbase is out. And we have a little video here from OC Racing showing it off. And what do you think? Do we know anybody who's bought Ace Attack? I don't know anyone who actually has one.
Well, they
Nobody,
stopped
none of our
selling.
listeners have one.
They stopped selling to the U.S. during the tariffs, but we talked about this a few weeks ago. This is the whole entry level thing with the really,
Intium.
you know, yes, that William took quite a stance against when it was released.
No, wait, it's $1,000. You get the rig, the wheel, the base, the pedals, everything for 1,000. It's the package.
Yeah, look, it's people think I hate Ace Attack, and I don't. But again, I just don't see what they're trying to do when they're putting a product out that is $200, $150 more than two competitors. So I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look as good as the entry level stuff from the other guys, and I don't know. And for right now, for whatever reason, they've got their Invicta, no, La Prima. Hold on, I had it up a second ago. Yeah, La Prima, which is their 12 Newton meter base, is with pedals and their Formula basic entry level Formula wheel. They've got it on sale for $688.
Whoa.
So I don't know why you would buy the 5 Newton meter one when they got the next step up on sale for $80 more.
You probably haven't sold any of them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're liquidating it, discontinuing it, what, but yeah, it's $688 on their U.S. website, so it'll ship to you, I assume, without tariffs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate them. I just don't get it.
I don't like their wheels. I just don't like the design of their wheels, or it's just they're ugly.
Okay, William, are you ready for a kidney auction?
No. Yeah, so it's an is that Instagram? Yeah, Instagram post for, I'm sorry, I already played this earlier. I got to play it back. For a Sims by Racers, inspired by Formula One, engineered in-house. It's a humongous, I mean, those are bigger than Mike's screens, right? Formula wheel sim setup, not full motion, but if you watch the video, what is it? Is that hydraulic or what?
Well,
So
it's a high end Formula One chassis. I mean, this thing looks like a tank. It's a really sharp looking thing, but I think you have to sell a kidney to buy one. I think the headline's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's something.
it says available for pre-order. Let's see if we can get a
So
price on that.
aluminum profile style rig. It looks like it's on a motion platform as well. They got like triple 70-inch screens or something, belt tensioner. But like John says, there's some Formula One old school Marlboro style, carbon pieces on it as well to give it that look.
Yeah, I mean, this is again, I'm sure $100,000. So, and then we had another one here from F1 Authentics. I threw these together because both of these would, if you want, you're gonna have to sell a kidney to get at least one of them. You probably sell both of them if you want both of them. But the other one here by F1 Authentics is, it was a full replica chassis of the Red Bull car that was run, I think at Suzuka. So this is, made from the same carbon fiber and everything, but this is full motion, and with the monocoque and everything. But yeah, I, no, 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 no.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, it looks cool, but it, I mean, I'm going to spend $1,000 probably for this, and I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna sit behind my 47-inch wide, ultra wide. No, 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 no.
So with SimiCube not having USB pass-through, I think a lot of these companies are touting it this week. So Brad, we have the Gomez PowerLink QR.
Yep, the GSI PowerLink USB. So it's first from GSI quick release that gives any USB wheel and any base a dedicated USB pass-through, both power and data. So, connects through system connects through a locking USB-C hub on the base side. So this even works with SimiCube 3. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to be. Other than you're going to, I'm guessing the second picture on here shows the actual hub. So I would assume that I'm going to hook my USB to the wheel side of this, and once I connect it to the base mounted hub, that's where the other the PowerLink QR hub comes from. Um, you know, I don't know, I guess I still wouldn't call this USB pass through, because if it's not going through the wheelbase, and to me it's not pass through, this is just a USB hub disguised as a quick release.
It kind of does the same purpose, right?
It does.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic, and I mean GSI's quality. No price yet though, and considering their non-powered quick release is $210, I'm kind of scared when they actually do release that.
It says coming in early 2026.
It may not be a kidney, but you may have to send a bunch of feet pics in.
Justin, Dave Cam shows us Sabelt seat foam.
Yeah, I watched a little of this video, and pretty much it's a company that provides inserts for your seat to help with lumbar and all that. Maybe kind of a cheap way to get around buying the big old $1,000 Sparko seat.
So these are like real race car inserts, and you've seen this in IMSA when they switch drivers. The driver jumps out, and then they pull his insert out or his pads, and then the other guy puts his in, kind of thing. I think it's
Well,
kind of like that.
yeah, it's kind of like that, but the inserts that they use in IMSA, it's molded to them, so they're going to put a mold into the actual seat, and they're going to take a mold of their body. This is foam. He said it does it will hold its shape, and look, if you've got lumbar issues and stuff like that, it's probably not a bad idea if you've got room in your seat, as opposed to just putting a pillow in there. Um, it's probably a good option. I didn't look to see what the pricing of this is. It's a belt, so it's not going to be cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. $210 for the back piece and $195 for the butt piece, I think.
That's a seat.
No, that's the insert.
It's just
That's
the
just the
cushion
insert.
thing.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I'm
it.
just saying that's a seat in general.
You could buy
yeah,
a whole
yeah.
seat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading to Amazon. I'm looking for a lumbar pillow.
So I
It's
actually
intriguing.
sit on a little pillow, a Samsonite pillow, to try to get me up about a half inch, because I need to be a half inch taller to get the perfect height. And because I didn't get the screens just perfect. And then I have a lumbar pillow that I bought off Walmart for $20 as well. I have behind my back. And so I don't know if I bought something like this, would it even fit in my NRG seat? I mean, it's pretty tight as it is. I mean, would I be laying these on top of my current cushions, or removing my cushions and putting this in place of it?
You'd remove your cushions.
I see. Okay, who wants this one? Brad, Sim Racing Den, Mike. He says, so you want to add motion to your sim rig?
I'm going to admit I did not watch this one, Mike. I didn't think we'd get this far down the script.
Well, I haven't looked at the time, but I guess we should probably move on to results. But I'll cover this one as our last one. So basically, Mike from Sim Racing Den, he gives a really good video on things to think about if you're thinking about adding motion to your sim rig. He goes over all the different dynamics and different trains of thought: cost, power, do you have enough room, the sound of it, how much value do you get out of it. He talks about the affordable motions, like Vero motion versus the high end price ones like Driven Dynamics and so forth, or Cubic, and compares those and contrasts the different options. So, look, if you're interested in motion, this is a must watch, and it's not just something he threw together with some splash video. He's done his research on this stuff, and everything he says is intelligent and well thought out. Well done, Mike.
Yeah, his video they did, I think we looked at last week with the Vero Motion was really good. For an option that somewhat attainable by regular people. Again, I don't think most of us listening to this podcast are going to go out and drop 100 grand on a motion rig. Um, so yeah, he does a really really good job. And I know he even in that one he tried a lot of the even Vero had the different ranges of stuff from 2 inches of travel to 6 inches of travel and whatnot.
Results. Let's talk NIS Sunday fixed at Vegas. I got wrecked out right before halfway. Two cars ahead of me hooked each other into the wall. I couldn't miss it. It wrecked about 10 cars. I did ride around for a while, but was not fun, so I parked it. Justin Pearson, you rage quit.
What?
Probably, I can't even remember. I probably got wrecked within the first 10 laps.
No, you had extensive penalties. I think you got
Oh,
forced
yeah.
down pit road or something.
Yeah, that was right. They got wadded up at a turn 4, and I had to go down pit road, and the pace car issues not catching up. Then I got like a minute 30 and a black flag, and I was like, I'm done.
Yep. See this happy face? It doesn't race it in NIS anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday, David, he puts A open though. P10, caught in three big ones, but even with 6 minutes of damage at any time was able to stay with the pack. Finished top 10 with 3 seconds of damage left to repair from a total of about 10 minutes.
That ought to tell you about the quality of racing currently.
All right, Thursday Open, NIS. I got wrecked out, too much damage. We were on the first green white checker. I was in the top four pretty much the whole race. I was third, I think, on that restart. I was pretty much kind of in a position to win, but I couldn't do it. I actually had a really bad frame rate drop problem about 2/3 of the way through the race. I was getting about 40, 50 frames, and it dropped down to 20, 19 frames. And trust me, at 19 frames a second, you can't race. It's hard. And so I felt very unconfident at that point because of the frame rate problem. And I think that may have contributed to me, not picking the right moves and stuff. Justin, you were there watching me at the end. I made a couple moves, but it didn't work out. I got dumped.
Yeah, that's all you could have done, Mikey. I mean, you had no other option.
Yeah, I was leading coming to the white, I think. And, I'd taken the lead on the outside lane, dumped down to the bottom, but then they quickly regrouped and I got wrecked after that. Moving on to your race, Justin. P1, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I got lucky. I kind of what you guys know, I'm over official racing. I just been running leagues, and so I'm like, screw it, we'll just run up front. So I led over half the race and got down. It was only 3 cautions. Got down to green, white, checkered, and threw a couple blocks and hit them all and won it. So
Well done. Stayed in front of the Rex. That's a great strategy. Hey, somebody's got to win it. Tony Rochette got a P12. Moving on to Gen 4 at Phoenix. Top split qualifying 13th out of 25. Was involved in several cautions, but no real damage. Was up to 14 incident points. but brought her home to finish P9 for a nice top 10 and top split. I'll take it. Look, this is a super fun track and car combination. Like Gen 4 at Phoenix is like, it is so fun. It's so hard to be fast, and I definitely recommend it. Then the next race, I started ninth, finished sixth. Another nice, clean race. I'll take it. Moving down to A fixed, I ran and got a DNF. I had a pretty good run going in the caution, in a caution-free race when I was a second car on the outside pushing the guy behind me, was trying to push me, and when I backed off a little because of temps, my oil was red. He pushed me and dumped me into the wall. I got involved in a different wreck later. It was too much damage. We're done. B open, John P23.
Yeah, this one, man, this one pissed me off. I mean, it sucked. I was in the top 5 the whole race. We get 3 laps to go and got wrecked out because of a dick move by the guy who obviously ended up winning the race. That's how it always works. We're 3 wide, but plenty of room. So the guy on the outside takes a hard left, hits the right side of the car in the middle, who then he was forced down into my right side, knocked me through the grass into the wall. I was done. I mean, I was in a position to win this race. Um, it's iRacing. This is what happens.
It's Talladega. Ringmeister. I had 2 more races on Saturday in the IL15 Indy Next car. 2 more DNFs. I seem to be getting worse as the week progressed, actually. I did have a P6 earlier in the week. Then I started 10th. I had a good race, and at the last lap near the end, I was running with 2 guys that were right in front of me. They wreck. I get by one of them. I go to get by the other one, and he goes to block me and wrecks me. And he beats me, and I'm wrecked like literally 5 feet from the checkered line. I can't get to the checkered line, so I end up finishing P18. Monday night, we switched to the new car. It's the Ligier JSP 320, which is a LMP3. Started
Ligier.
what, Ligier? Okay.
Ligier.
Started 22 out of 24, got to 15th, but then a guy spun into the wall, and I ended up being the one who wrecked me, and I got wrecked out. IMSA, David Hall, P2, had a few good runs, with the best being P2. Brad, P8.
Yeah. So, Portimao, Algarve, P8. I just don't like this track. Qualified P10, but I'd have a lazy spin on the first lap. This is not a very popular track. I'm going to say it's a very unpopular track as far as participation is always very poor. So it was only 2 splits last night. So I was in the I think it was like car 4 in the second split, but we had guys all the way down into the 800s. So it was quicker than the ones that had gotten by me after spin, but would have to fight for every position just to get back up. I just don't understand why guys will run. You run somebody down from 5 seconds back over like 3 laps, and then they're just going to choose to fight like they're going to hold me off for 2 corners, and all it does is slow us down. I mean, just absolutely frustrating. It's like, dude, I literally am a second and a half faster than you. Just let me go, and you can keep running your race and let me go. But nope. You finally get by him, and then within a few laps, you've gapped him by several seconds. I was telling Will and William in a chat, it's just I cannot think of the last time I've seen so many dive bombs and people chopping your nose. This track is just kind of set up to be that way. One of my best finish. I've noticed over the last few weeks I've got to clean up my off tracks. I just picking them up way too easy, and it's just running wide here, running wide there. I think it's more frustration on my part of trying to make time. But it's sloppiness, and I don't like being sloppy because it's costing me safety rating.
All right, William, P6.
This was Imola. I haven't done Portimao yet, thank God. But this was Imola on Sunday. It was top split at 2, and it was my only race this week because Grassroots was off, and then I couldn't make myself do my other league, which is Portimao in the rain. I just couldn't force myself to do it. Will Weaver's listener was in the split with me. Nothing real notable here. Last week the Elbows Out League was at Imola, and I had decent pace. I was about a half second off this pace for whatever reason in the IMSA race, even though the conditions were similar. I just was down a little bit on speed. Don't know why or how. Still was fighting for a top 5 in the last few laps, but I know I was overdriving the car a little bit, especially in the first sector. And then this Smurf that was in 5th, he was a Smurf. His main account was like 5K, but he was turning times that were well above us in a 2K. But he was just killing me off the last turn in the same car. So, yeah, top 3 in the split. Like I said, it was top split of 2. Top 3 were 4 to 6K, and I had nothing for him at all. So, decent result, decent points for the season, and just kind of glad to be done.
All right, grassroots racing, Brad.
Yeah, so was looking forward to the recruitment race at Road America, one of my favorite tracks. So I didn't qualify horrible. I don't remember exactly where I was, but just bad luck. Lap 1 coming through the kink. Guy was ahead of me. I think it's Scott. Just got loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got loose, and he tried to save it and came back up right into me, and the car was just destroyed. I mean, the steering wheel was at 3 o'clock. I mean, I know we got a fast repair, but at that point, I'd already
Right.
fallen all the way back to the back. So yeah, I wasn't mad. He apologized, sent me a message. It's all good, dude. It's just a practice race, but uh, yeah, just I, even though I got wrecked out, I was happier there than running uh for my house. It worked out all at the end.
Yeah, I didn't put a result in here just because it was a recruitment race, but and I drove GTP when I will most definitely not be doing that during the season. I just finished 5th though and didn't kill anybody, so I guess that's uh or 6th I think. So yeah, I guess that's a win. I only locked up my tires about 7 times.
And then David Hall, P7, 25 GTP showed up, managed to evade an unsafe rejoin, and had a spat with an entitled GT3 because he is supposed to tell me where I should and shouldn't pass when I made a safe move just because it made him take a bad line.
Yeah, we went back and watched that after the race. It was a unsafe rejoin instead of a passer or whatever. Yeah, we told him it was definitely his fault, not David's, the other guy. So we watched it back after.
All right. And other hosted racing I ran, Chris McGuire hosted up IndyCar at Iowa, qualified 16 out of 36. I was wrecked out near the end, but boy, that was fun. Then Riley Daytona Prototypes at Charlotte Oval, wrecked out. Then Street Stocks at Lanier Asphalt, finished P4 there. All right, final thoughts, Brad Wren.
So yeah, as I alluded to in the beginning of the show, I pulled the trigger, ordered a SemiCube 2 Pro. We'll be here Monday. So just coming out of Sim Magic. I've been happy with the Alpha. Um, but in hindsight, wish I just had pulled the trigger 2 years ago and bought the SemiCube 2. Um, After spending quite a bit of time on the Discord and looking at stuff, I'm quite confident that it's not going to be a situation where I don't think support's going to go away completely. And then I just look at the track record and the quality build and everything. I mean, as I told the wife, this is for the most part, the forever base. I don't expect to do anything update wise. So I ended up picking up it's a used base. It's from it's one of the ones that was I'm pretty confident was used at the Sim Gaming Expo because when they offered them, somebody bought all of them, and it just happened to be one of the retailers that was there. So it's got 2 days to 3 days of driving on it, full warranty and everything. So I'm happy with that. But it'll be here Monday, and some other I got quick releases coming. Some mounting stuff from some sport gadget to get the power brick and everything done. So excited to jump into that. So I'm gonna have some Sim Magic stuff here for sale here pretty soon. I need to try to recoup a few dollars, otherwise the wife will murder me, um, which is pretty normal. But yeah, excited to join the SemiCube club. Like I said, in hindsight, just wish I'd have pulled the trigger and bought once, cried once, or buy once, cry once 2 years ago. But I was trying to nickel and dime everything to death, and that's what happens sometimes.
So look, when you told us you bought that, I was shocked, to be honest, because I thought for sure you were debating only between the Sim Lab and the Pro and the Sim, excuse me, the SemiCube 3 versus the Sim Lab. What made you decide to not do the the SemiCube 3 and pick their 6-year-old product? Price is
Cost,
one reason, right?
price is one reason.
$400 you
Um,
saved.
yeah, and I I'm not sold on the whole SemiCube Link and the Light Bridge and all that. I've got stuff that I want to use through SimHub, and that's the road I want to go. I don't want to get limited to that. As far as the sim labs go, like I said, I spent a lot of time talking with Richard. And I love the base, but again, it's I know what I'm getting with SemiCube. There's no uncertainty of, well, this is the first base they've released, and what is it going to be, or this or that. So, I'm trusting that the guys on this team that use it and have raved about it, and again, I think at the end of the day, it's the goat, and I don't know if anybody will ever knock them off the throne.
You're going to like the Paddock software. They call it Paddock in the tuner, but that's where you find online profiles you can try. And so you'll probably want to look up Daniel Morad and get his GT3, and he has a prototype one as well. But that I use those for the road cars, and there's a NASCAR one on there that I use for NASCAR. But yeah, I mean that's the beauty of it, that you can run other people's settings.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am. So we'll see. So this should take care of me for a while. I'm not sure I can go back to the well for anything else for the near future.
All right, John Curley, final thought.
Well, at least you talked about it first. I have this bad habit of buying then apologizing. But I think you made a good choice, Brad. It's a known quantity. You're getting a good base. I don't blame you one bit. My week, yeah, I only got to do one race this week. I went down to Mississippi and visited one of my sons, who's in the Air Force down there. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna risk it. Go to Talladega, run NIS. I just like that track too much not to do it. Um, and that's what I'm looking forward to, guys.
All right, Justin Pearson, final thought.
Well, this is gonna kind of be random, but I'm happy for Battlefield 6 for coming out. It's making me enjoy iRacing a little bit more because I'm not so obsessed with that. I get a little distracted. So when I come back to iRacing, I've been having a blast on Battlefield 6. When I come back to iRacing, I appreciate it a little bit more. So, and I count my blessings. I won a race today. So,
Great win too. All right, William Westbrook, final thought.
Same with Justin. I've been kind of playing Battlefield 6 quite a bit. It's the first game
let's squad up.
I've
Don't mean to
played in.
interrupt.
Yeah, you're good. It's the first game I've played in quite a while. It's not actually the Sim, so I'm enjoying it. And it's good because there's quite a lull in iRacing this week as far as the series I run. MSIS at Portimao, I want no part of it. I'll do my one for points, but other than that, um, that'll be probably the only time I get on until the leagues start back up. And speaking of that, Grassroots, first week of season 6 starts Tuesday. Message me if you want to try it out. I won't be here because of work, but season's starting, so we're excited for that too.
Yeah, and don't forget about our Gen 4 off-season league. We need everyone to get on iRacing and join that league, or DM David Hall for more information. My final thought, I'm still irritated with Moza in my active brake because they updated the software. They pulled out most, if not all, the effects that I was actually had dialed in just right. Since then, I've tried to find some support, like the Discord. I found a Facebook group. I looked at their website and asking questions like, how do I get this back? I mean, what's the plan? Is there any release notes? Like, why did they remove it? Are they going to put it back? I got nothing. I got nothing. I got somebody who said, "Oh, roll back the software." Okay, so the Moza Pit House has a rollback feature, but it rolled it back to like one way old version that didn't have the effects at all. So it didn't work. I ended up going back to the newest version. Look, if any of our listeners out there have any clue about this at all, let me know. I feel like I'm just running in the dark waiting for them to do something. So I was all keen on buying a throttle from Moza, so I have a pair of them, but now I'm kind of waiting because until these effects come back, I'm not real keen on it. In fact, if this is how it's going to roll, I might just vote with my pocketbook and sell this baby and just buy the SemiCube active pedal and just be done with it.
I knew it was coming. He was looking for an excuse, and he's found it.
I found it.
Knew it was coming.
Yeah, I don't know. But look, I may do that. I may come to that realization. Moza, if you're listening, you better get off the toilet, man, and get busy here, or I'm going to be barking up another tree. With that, we'll see you on the track later. Okay, title ideas.